Happy Tuesday, everybody. Can you believe it's Tuesday morning on a Tuesday Night Live? Welcome, 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 welcome. Oh, let's see. Evil Lynn is here. Good morning. She says, "You're killing me, Smalls. I got a luncheon with Paris School today. I'll watch as long as I can, but then I have to go and eat the sandwich, chips, and cookies they're providing." Oh, well, I'm glad you're here anyway. Woo! Good morning, friend, she says. And Aaron Booby Goats is here. Good morning, Aaron. And Tanya's here. Kitchen Witch. Oh, yeah. Chandra's on her way down. She was taking a nap. We dropped the girl off at school today, and she's like, "I need a nap." I'm like, "All right, cool. Go get a nap." I made breakfast for myself. I got her coffee sitting over here. I got my coffee sitting right here. It's not in the normal cup. It's in a Tuesday cup, not a Sunday cup. So, mm. Oh, good morning, everybody. Oh, let's see. Oh, let's see. Tara, Grandma Boo 2 is Granny Boo is here. Good morning, Granny. And Terry Sue said, had to wait 5 minutes after subscribing to chat. Morning, all. Yeah, I do that just because it cuts down on the riffraff. Sometimes with these lives, you get people coming in and saying all kinds of crazy things, and they're not going to do that if they have to wait 5 minutes. So once you're subscribed, you're good to go. I appreciate you for subscribing, though. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate it a lot. Now that she went to go make coffee, I love coffee. It's the best. Lynn is here. Good morning, Lynn. I don't think I've seen you in a while. Maybe not. Jeremiah, my good friend, lives up the street from me. Good morning. He says, "Good Tuesday morning, friends. I'm at work. So you have to, so I have the ruckus to, I got to keep the ruckus to a minimum." No, we go full ruckus here. Everybody knows that. Daytime, nighttime, doesn't matter. Amy, what you gonna do? She says, "Good morning to everybody." Me and Chandra. Chandra will be down here in a little bit. She's slow. I called her like 15 minutes ago now. I was like, "Come on. Let's do this." You know? And she's a little pokey, but she'll be down here. Lynn said, "So glad it's not 7 in the morning. I could be here and conscious for all at the same time." Yeah, Thomas is here. Good morning, Thomas, my friend. Target prime rib. The feral grandmother is here. Feral grandma. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, and Amy says, "Yes, Evelyn, thank you. I'm so pumped to be doing this with Dustin." Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I'll be able to submit my payment tonight. I've had to move things around and move money around, and it takes time for the banks and because you're like, you're going to cash something in, move it from that to an account, and you move it over. It's lovely, but it's gone a lot faster than I thought it would because they emailed us on a Friday night. They emailed us Friday morning, Friday afternoon. "Congratulations, you've been accepted." And I'm like, "Yeah," but then they're like, "You got to pay us by Friday." I'm like, "Okay." So trying to make that happen has been kind of stressful, but it's all in order. So hopefully we'll be good to go, and I should be able to get that payment submitted in full by the end of the day. Though, yeah, it's a lot of money, folks. Maritza is here. Good morning, Maritza. I'm glad to see you. And Brian is here. I'm glad to see you, my friend. Sherry Lynn is in the house. Good morning, Sherry. I'm glad to see you. And Amy's playing hooky. She said, "I'm taking the day off, woke up with a sore throat and laying around." Yeah. Thomas is asking, so I just finished my supply of butter to have with my coffee. Would lard be a good fat substitute? So what I would do is I would take a little bit of lard, mix it in with a little bit of coffee. I wouldn't make a whole cup or a whole mug. I wouldn't make like a whole big thing like this of it. I would try a small amount and see what you think about that. Try it out, see what you think, and if it's good and you like that sip, then go and have more. See what you think. I think that's a good way to do that because you never know. You may love it. People like bacon grease, people like avocado oil, all that stuff. I drank in 26. So prior to 2016, so just to reiterate my coffee background and where I came from with coffee. So in 2010, I quit smoking cigarettes. June of 2010, I quit smoking cigarettes, and I needed something to do. And people would go down and go because where I worked, it was a 3 building campus. Our building was like, well, and we had to walk around the other buildings, around the middle building to get to the 3rd building to get coffee. So we would walk and go for a walk every day on our first break. We'd all go to break, get our coffee. So I started drinking coffee. Basically, long story short, long story long, I picked up a coffee habit from after I quit smoking cigarettes because it gave me something to do with my breaks. Gave me a reason to walk away from the desk. I was utilizing at the time like sugar in the raw because that's healthier. And I was putting in, half and half. They didn't have heavy cream. Or I didn't know anything about heavy cream at the time, but I was using half and half. And then slowly over time, the sweetness of the coffee, I didn't like it. So I phased out the sugar, wasn't using any sweeteners or anything like that. But I was using a half and half. So basically just cream and coffee. And I did that for a long time. And then it got to the point where it was expensive. I was spending 250 plus a day on coffee. They had like one of those punch cards. You get a punch card. So like on Fridays, you get a free beverage. So you upscale your drink and get whatever the most expensive drink was. And finally, we just a couple of coworkers and I went in and we bought a coffee maker for the office. Just a standard like Mr. Coffee maker, and we would take turns bringing in coffee. Get the big huge cans from Costco or whatever, and yeah, and it wasn't convenient to have cream because cream doesn't last that long. Half and half goes bad relatively quickly, where heavy cream will last. But in our house, it doesn't last that long because we go through it so fast. But so basically, what that means is I was just drinking black coffee. I got used to drinking black coffee every day, and it wasn't until 2016 when we decided to go keto that at the time, the keto coffee, the coconut, the oil, and the butter and the coffee. So I was drinking coffees this big with 165 grams of fat in it, crazy amounts of fat. People thought you're going to die, and it was delicious. And then when I started cutting back on all that because coconut oil got expensive, used to be able to get it for like $17 a gallon. I think it's $45 a gallon now for the same, like the Nutivia stuff. I was getting the Nutivia, like the organic Nutivia gallons for $17 on sale at Amazon. I would buy 2, 3 gallons at a time. And yeah, now it's not. It's like $45 a gallon, which is crazy. So we just use butter and heavy cream now. But yeah, I used to just drink my coffee black. So I would say if you are wanting to try that, Thomas, then just do it a little by little and see how you feel. Yeah, Amy, we hope you feel better, dear. But lounging around is never a bad day. Study buddies. Oh man, that hurts my brain, the idea that I'm going to be going to classes. September 1st when Hogwarts starts. Brian Doyle, what is this madness? Well, so quick background on what we're doing here is our kids are moving back into the house. So Tuesday nights, our nighttime, when everyone gets home, our house is going to be crazy. So us getting together at night around 8 o'clock to do a live is just not going to be logistically possible. So for the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing lives in the morning on Tuesdays because nobody's here. Our boys are here, but they work nights, so they're asleep. The girls at school, everybody else is at work. Not a lot of Tuesday holidays. Now, there'll be some logistical issues come summertime and vacations or breaks and stuff like that, but we'll handle all those accordingly. Don't worry. We love you guys, and we are willing to do whatever it takes to keep coming live as long as you guys keep showing up for us. So we'll come at 10 o'clock in the morning if we have to. So that's what we're trying to do here. And Chandra hopefully will be down here sometime. Morning to everybody I missed. I had to feed the chickens down on the farm. So my question, so like the chickens will eat stuff in the ground. They'll eat bugs and worms and anything that's around. So how much do you have to offset that with chicken feed? Because it seems like if there's enough bugs and stuff and then they catch mice or whatever, they'll just eat whatever. So but how much do you have to offset with chicken feed? I'm just curious. Yes. So 22 Cute Get has a great question. She says, I know I've probably missed the scoop on this, but Dustin, are you doing the Keto Crusades anymore? Short answer is yes, we will continue to do Keto Crusades, but they will not be monthly. It'll probably end up being quarterly, but with everything that Chris and Victor have going on, so everybody knows that Chris is working on a cookbook. Victor launched a cell phone app that does recipes and has memberships or something like that. I'm not exactly 100% sure about everything, the details that go in with that. It's like it helps. You can use recipes to create meal plans. So he's got that going on. He's got his business that he runs and YouTube full time. And then Chris has got everything going on with him and Ash and touring and videos and anything and everything that he's got going on. So it's just difficult for us to get together once a month. But we are planning to get together. I just don't have a date. But the boys and I will convene and we will be back. So the Keto Crusade is not over. It's not done. It's just not going to be as often. And we're also looking to have guests to make when we do go live together all the more powerful. So, yeah, more details on that after the boys and I have a chance to talk it through. Doyle, not foil. If you've ever seen the movie Rad, it's like, good morning, Blob. The name's Bob, not Blob. Smartass. Oh, I love that movie. Chandra hates it though. Let's see. Aaron says, dang, the berries must be paying off the farm. So if you think about it, full transparency, the classes are $3,500 for 6 months. So in theory, they can run 2 classes a year at 200 students. The first class is 200 students or will be 200 students. So that's like $750,000, give or take. So if they're doing 2 classes, that's $1.4 million. But it's not just Barry, it's not just Nisha. There's also Kim Howerton and a lot of the other coaches are involved. And I imagine they'll be making some sort of salary to work this. So yeah, I imagine that they are going to be making relatively decent money. And I don't know if they're going to grow the class and make it larger and say the inaugural class went smooth at 200. Let's see, can 250 do it? Can we do 350? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we're being the first class. We're going to see how it all goes. Amy says, question: does anybody eat in bed, especially when they are sick? Let's say like hard-boiled eggs and bacon. Asking for a friend. We don't eat in bed in the morning, but at night sometimes we'll be down here doing stuff, and we're ready for bed. but we want to go upstairs and we'll bring snacks or whatever up there, whatever we're eating, we'll bring. Or sometimes, sometimes we've gone to get Buffalo Wild Wings and we'll eat wings in bed at night. But don't judge us. It's fine. Terry eats in bed. Lisa's in the house. Hello, Dustin and everybody. Christian Delorme is in the house. Hello, Christian. Bonjour, everybody. And Tanya says, I don't eat where I sleep. I just never have. Yeah. I used to actually eat in bed like half asleep. I used to work nights for a long time, and when I lived at home, my mom would like go out and come back and bring like Burger King or whatever. Like they'd have sales and she'd want Burger King, so she'd go get Burger King and come home and hand it to me, and I'd be like eating it like laying down, eating half asleep, like nom nom. Yeah, I've been that guy. Now, have you sleep eat in bed? That's another question. How does that work? Jackie's, what the heck are you doing? Just had bacon and eggs with a slice of Colby Jack. Gonna sit here and listen to y'all and catch up on work. New house carpet is installed. Ordered closet system. Oh yeah. She's gonna make it rain, everybody. The real estate is going good. Let's see. So Thomas says, Dustin, I'm interviewing your beard brother Gary No Slow, aka the former Booby Biscuits today. So we don't have a pair of boobies anymore. We just have booby goats, and now it's No Slow and not Booby Biscuits. Down to one booby, I guess. All right. Yeah, and Amy's asking what time that will be, trying to make sure that she's awake. Charlie's in the house. Good morning, Charlie. How you doing, my buddy? Charlie's an awesome cat. If you don't know Charlie, Charlie's awesome. Jackie said, Amy, while recouping from breast reduction, yes, I ate all my meals in bed and had an amazing bamboo laptop bed tray. That sounds well, not the surgery part, but like eating in bed with a bed tray. That sounds nice. I have a friend that lives in Las Vegas that just had a breast reduction. I had to check on her today, see how she's doing. Thomas says it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Tanya says she's shopping for work today, but will not miss it. Tanya says, what am I going to do tonight, Dustin? I imagine Keto Chat will still go live at 9:15 tonight, 9:15 Eastern. Yeah, because Chris Cook in Nashville doesn't go live on Tuesdays anymore. And now we're kind of logistically hamstrung to not go live. So yeah, I don't know. There's the keto cookout with Russ. Russ is awesome. Russ Mitchell. He goes live, I think, at 8:00, 7:30, 8:00 tonight on the keto cookout. So look that up. It is a Homesick Buckeyes channel, Russ Mitchell. He is one of the nicest, sweetest men I've ever met in my entire life. I've had a chance to hang out with him, met him in 2023, and then I hung out with him in 2024, and we had dinner together, and he's just a lovely human being. And Thomas says, "Cool. I think cool, Tanya. Like I think Gary has as much to be a good listen to, and going to be a great show. Of course, I feel that way about everyone. Yeah, everybody's got an important story to tell. Bacon Baby is here. Hello, Bacon Baby. Amy, am I doing a video shouting you out? That sounds like a good idea. And Aaron says, I have a slap bucket and I feed them twice a day. So I pick up 3 bags of chicken feed for a week just because I have so many. Okay. Evelyn's getting ready for the luncheon. Got a 40-ounce coffee ready to go. Well, Evelyn, you be safe. We love you. Have a good time. Text me later. You know how it goes. Slop bucket. Why? Slap bucket, slop bucket, you know. Terry says, seems like a lie. Following Mitch is a good time slot. I wasn't my intention. I'm glad because I know on Sunday mornings I kind of halfway compete with him because they go live at 7:30. He goes live at 8:30. But I know people usually duck out of my lives in time to go chat with him. So yeah, it wasn't my intention to just to be. It was a good happenstance. Because what had done happen was I decided 10:05 was about good for me. And Jackie says, not so much if you have a smaller flock that like free range fed them all your kitchen scraps, including meat and weeds when you pull them. Okay. And she also says, my friend is a newbie chicken mama, and the stuff she thinks is hilarious. Like she thought you had to have a rooster. You don't have to have a rooster. I don't know anything. We live in an HOA, so I'm not getting any chickens. And I don't really want to really deal with chickens necessarily. Evelyn says, maybe I can get my 15-minute break around the time you go live on Tuesdays. But it really bums me out. It's like, that's the same, Evelyn, like Jaqueline was getting upset with me because she just got switched to day shift. And I'm switching my lives to the days. Oh, my goodness. And Amy said, yeah, I'm sure they're paying people to be instructors. Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of compensation package involved for sure. Tanya says, I just watched Earth Girls Are Easy on something. Yeah. That's a great movie though. Okay? So that's a great movie because it's got young it's got all those young actors in it. It's got man, oh my goodness, why can't I think of their names? I'll look this up. Hold on. I'll have everybody here in just a second. By the time I get out, they'll be on the chat all over the place. Yeah, I mean, this movie's amazing. It's got Gina Davis, Jeff Goldblum, Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, Julie Brown, Michael McKean. Let's see, a bunch of people that I'm not really familiar with, but so many great people. It's a silly movie, but it's great. Like, I mean, the title is a little deceiving, but it's fun. It's a fun little movie. Gonna be like Tony Robinson. Who's gonna be Tony Robbins? I'm too short to be Tony Robbins. Rick is in the house. Good morning, Mr. Rick. My Darkwing Duck is upstairs, Rick. I'm sorry. Thomas says, I don't eat where I sleep, but I do sleep where I eat. I fall asleep in my recliner all the time. Put a YouTube video on and just be knocked out. Oh my goodness. So hot. Hot, hot, hot. Tanya says, I do sleep where I eat. Oh, Lisa can't wait for your interview, Thomas. That's going to be awesome. Naomi Jones is in the house, finally getting kitchen ceiling repaired. Fantastic. That's so good. I'm glad for that. Yeah, that's always so rough when there's a lot of things going on. Amy said Russ at Homesick Buckeye is amazing. He's the sweetest man. And Charlie says slap buckets sound painful to be on the receiving end. Yeah. Don't want to get slapped by a bucket. You knew I would say that it was a good movie. I mean, yeah, it is a great movie. I mean, it's is it cinematic? Is it a blockbuster? No. But I mean, I grew up on. I remember watching it as a kid on like Saturday morning or Sunday afternoon TV. Yeah, Aaron got it. Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, yeah, Jim Carrey. Didn't I say Gina Davis? Yeah, Gina Davis. Yeah, she was young in the movies. Cute. Risa said, my husband watched it and told me it was the stupidest movie he'd ever seen. I remember going to see it in theaters. I mean, it is a silly movie. If you're not a silly movie fan, I get it. But we went and saw Fantastic Four last night. And for movies in the last 10 years, it's not bad. But that bar is really low. So, I mean, was it the greatest movie? No. But did we enjoy it? We had fun. Rick says, hello, Dustin. Hello. Shuckaducky quack quack. Amy says, call the carnival police. I'm drinking Alka Seltzer. I don't think medicine really counts. And like if I was super, super sick, like sometimes just like a carbonated soda, like a ginger ale or like a Sprite Zero, or just kind of helps break up phlegm and just kind of helps get things moving a little bit in the morning. Like I'm never gonna you know what? I'm never going to be the super militant type person because life happens. We have to live this life. And I mean, if you are a person and you are like lion diet to the end, cool. I applaud you. And if you're just carnivore and you don't want to even use garlic or whatever, I applaud you. Do you, boo? But if you come in here and you're like, you know what? I don't mind seed oils and I don't mind, I'm like, okay, that's your decision to make. I mean, I don't want people making fun of them or being mean to them. There's no reason for that. We're all grown here. We're all here trying to encourage others. We're not here to put each other down, you know? And like that's the whole like the idea of like carnivore and keto police and all of that. Like, because you see that, you see it, somebody gets super excited. They've been keto for 2 weeks and they go to the grocery store and they find an item that they think that, you know, I even heard Dr. Barry talk about this, you know, he's like, they think they've unlocked a super secret. They're like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. And they come and show people, they're like, look what I found, guys, look what I found. And everyone just shits on them. It's like, that's just, it's so degrading. It's so demoralizing to think you found something and you think, man, people are going to be excited about this. And then they're just like, it's like when Rick goes, pizza's disgusting. It's like, is it though? It's not. Because if it was disgusting, I wouldn't have a problem with it. like, you know? And I just think that, you know, I'm so happy that I do have a great group of people here that are very supportive and very positive and you know, we've got keto and carnivore and all the different iterations of a proper human diet here. And I think that that's fantastic. And that's what I want to continue to grow because I don't want people talking bad about vegans or people talking bad about vegetarians or any of that stuff because we all do what we think we need to do for ourselves. That's the important thing here. We're all here trying to do what we think is best for us. And we're trying to share that message to a degree. Hey guys, I found this and this happened and I did this and I got this result. It might work for you too. And that's what we're here for. I mean, I don't think that there's any absolutes out there. Do I think carnivore is absolutely the best diet for everyone on the planet? No. Do I think lion diet is absolutely the best diet for everyone on the planet? No. Do I think keto is the absolute best diet on the planet for everyone? No. Do I think whole food, single ingredient food is the best idea for everybody? Yes. Is that realistic? No. We have to understand that regardless of how something may be perfect for us as humans, doesn't always mean it's going to be realistic for everyone. We all come from separate places, we're all different experiences, and some of us just aren't going to do it. Like, you know, there's people who love sardines, people who don't love sardines, people who love salmon, people who don't love salmon, people who can eat pork and can't eat pork, and all these things are people who just refuse to eat pork because of religious reasons. That's okay. You have to find what's optimal for you. You have to make things work for you. We've only got a short time here. So you have to make sure you're doing what's best for you, but you also have to make sure you're enjoying it while you're here too. So I saw something the other day. A friend of mine posted on Facebook about a family member, you know, getting like having a cancer or something, and they were talking about like just live in the moment and eat whatever you want. Don't let diets restrict you. Da 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 da. And I'm like, and part of me understands. Part of me truly gets the sentiment that life is short, and if you are a person that is going through cancer treatments and such, then what's stopping you from eating whatever you want? At the same time, understanding what can help prolong life when it comes to cancer or whatever, it may even help reverse things, allegedly. Not a doctor, healthcare professional, or anything like that. I make no claims that, like cutting back sugar and eating meat and doing all these things can help. Sure. But it's gotta be a happy mix. It's gotta be, like if you are somebody and take somebody like say your body type being lion diet is optimal for you, and you've done it for a year, but you're absolutely miserable on the lion diet, just from a food perspective. You feel great. You're loving life. You have, everything, but every day is just salt, water, and beef, and you can't stay like you're just to the point, you just that's not a good life for you anymore. What are the trade-offs? I mean, this is we have to look at life realistically. So yeah, I don't know. Amy said, I like Gina Davis and League of Her Own, based on the South Bend Women's Baseball League. I knew it was based on something. I just didn't know if it was South Bend, or I didn't know for sure. I watched it a long time ago. Yeah, Aaron, there's no crying in baseball. I tell the kids that when they're whining, and they're always like, we're not playing baseball. And Jackie says, you're right. I'll always drink my Vernors when I'm sick. No judgment here. Yeah. Sometimes just a ice cold Coke Zero just makes the day better. Is it the best thing to put in my body? Absolutely not. But it just makes the day better. And I kind of feel like, we are, as a community, we have to realize there are trade-offs. Like, yeah, how being super strict, how sustainable for everyone is being super strict on their way of eating. Most people, it's not sustainable forever. Can you do it for a year? Probably. Can you do it for 2 years? Less likely. Now, does that mean there aren't outliers who people who do 100%? There are people out there who don't cheat. They're few and far between, and maybe even some of those people who claim to have never cheated are maybe fibbing to us, or omitting things out of memory lapses, or just want to look better for the internet. Amy said she had some of that on her channel this week, and it happens. It happens. It happens. Like, you're gonna have people who don't agree, who have opinions they want to share that don't align with everybody else, and that's going to be fine. We just have to make sure that we are doing our best to just to be open, honest, and say, I don't appreciate that type of thing here. You're welcome here, but that type of thing isn't. So I want you here. Just remember, saying whatever you said that wasn't cool for the group is not said again, because we are trying to grow an open and honest relationship and community based on trust and understanding and being seen and heard, and it's very important. And Aaron says, I swear Verner's is the sweetest of the ginger beers. I don't know. I know I've probably had it, but I don't really remember. Amy says, yeah, Rick has never been fat or addicted to food like some of us. We love him though. Yeah, 100%. Rick has his experiences, and his experiences are valid. He's lived a life completely different than me. And Jackie said, "Yum pizza 8. I take parchment paper, put down a thin layer of Rayo's, pepperoni, and cheese in the air fryer. Cuts the craving, but only eat it once a week." Yeah, I made like a cheesy like pizza thing with some like low carb tortillas the other night in a pie pan, and I mean it was messier than I wanted it to be, but it was good. Lisa is pulling weeds and listening. Thank you. Risa says, "I'm going to use my last carnivore pizza crust as a tostada base for lunch. Can't wait. I have some salsa, guacamole, leftover cod, and tons of cheese left over. Great use of it all." Yeah. Aaron says, "Someone left me a comment basically that pigs are omnivores. I'm eating bacon and eggs for the month. Chickens are omnivores too." Yeah, I mean, I don't think there are any. I mean, even dogs. Dogs are omnivores to a point because if they have an upset stomach, they'll eat grass. I mean, I don't know if there's any animals out there who won't eat. Like deer will eat meat if they have to. Horses will eat meat if they have to. I think that there's video of horses eating like birds or mice and stuff, weird things like that. Like I don't think what we think we know and what we actually know are very different things, or what we should know. And Aaron said, "They told me I'm better eating ruminant meat." And I mean, that might be true, but is it realistic all the time? No. Evan is heading out. Be safe, dear. Love you. Be careful. Tell Carl we said hello. Risa asked if I've tried the zero sugar orange cream Coke. Yes, I have. It was okay. It was okay. I'm surprised it's still around because a lot of those ones are not around anymore. I wish they would make a lime Coke Zero. I used to drink lime Coke back in the day, and I used to also get Pepsi Twist. Now, the reason it was so this is like the full sugar versions. Back in the day, I would go to the store and buy like 4 cases of soda for the apartment, and they would fly through all the sodas. I would buy Pepsi Twist for me. Nobody else in the house, nobody else in the apartment liked it. My roommates wouldn't drink it. I don't know why was I supplying soda for all the roommates. It just was the way it was. I had a job. I made more money. I was the job I had. I made more money. And when you're a kid, when you're a teenager, it just makes sense. In your early 20s, I make more money. Just drink my soda. It's fine. Charlie says, "I've never been sick on carnivore the past 2 years. I should research what I'll do if it ever happens in order to be better prepared." It's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if it's when. And I mean, is your immune system probably better? Sure, but it's like as soon as our girl went to kindergarten, we got hit a few times. So I think, like, when you kind of, especially coming out of the times where nobody was going anywhere, we were home, we were kind of in our own little environments. We're just kind of like, then come out of that and then send a girl to kinder or like preschool was preschool. Preschool was devastating to our immune system because she was around all these kids and they don't wash their hands. Their hands are in their mouths. They're gross. Little kids are disgusting. So no matter what you try to do, you cannot clean a little kid. They just stay gross. And she's almost 7 and still gross. Like, did you wash your hands? No. But, like our immune system wasn't prepared for that. And so now that she's been through that, and it'll probably hopefully be better this year. But I just think it'll happen eventually. And I think if the longer you go without being sick, when it does hit you, I think it hits you hard. Because I think like if you're used to getting sick every November and like you get sick in the summertime, because it'd always be like the fall flu, and then there'd be like that random summertime flu where it's like 100 degrees outside, you've got a fever and you're freezing and you just feel like awful. Is that and I think if you get sick like once or twice a year, it doesn't really hit you as hard. But like if you haven't been sick in a while and you finally do get sick, I think it hits so hard. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just the way it feels like for me. And Naomi says, I do a lot of sips of Diet Coke at work, anything to get through the shift easier. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's like even seltzer water like just makes me thirstier, which is weird because it doesn't. No, I've never heard anybody else say that. But I'll get, just like, it doesn't matter if it's LaCroix or whatever. I'll drink it. And I'm just like it just dries my mouth out. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. Tanya says, "What's the new thing? Eating raw meat while hanging upside down?" I don't think that'll work for me, but I mean, I'm not against raw meat. I don't think we should. Some of the things that I've seen recently about cooking meat being carcinogenic, but then the same people will smoke cigars. And I mean, I've heard it from multiple sources, so I'm not saying anything about anyone individually. It's just kind of weird how, like, and then, like, I think about that, like, we talk about, like, people who are smoking cigars. That tobacco's probably covered in glyphosate. Like, you know, I think we kind of focus on things and then we like sometimes can't see the forest for the trees. Like, I think we kind of get lost in our own play kind of, and like, I think, doing the best we can is always the best for us. None of us are ever going to be perfect. We're never going to always get the best meat. People aren't always going to be able to afford grass finished, grass fed, free range, single source cow who lived in the Bahamas and, and had got his nails done every Tuesday. Like, I just don't think that's going to be possible. Is feedlot beef awful? I mean, it's going to get you most of the way there. Is it ethically good? No, it's not. But and I guess Chandra probably isn't coming. So I woke her up. She's probably still asleep again. She probably fell right back asleep. She'll be like, "I'm so sorry, babe," but I'm like, that gives me an excuse to take a nap later. But yeah, I just think there's so many weird things that kind of come around and go around, and I see these videos of people going into Costco and they're like, "Oh, get this and not this," and I'm like, "Well, that's $10 cheaper. Is this one $10 healthier? I mean, is it? I mean, is the cost average more? Is it that much better health wise? Like, if like the bulk meat at Walmart, like the tube meat at Walmart gets you 95% of the way there, and it's $4 a pound. But to be optimum, you're going to be spending $10 a pound on some ground bison. That's that was homeschooled by a Yeti. Like, I just wonder, like, is it that much? Is it $5 a pound better for you? I don't know. These are questions we don't always have the answer to. Terry says, I completely agree with the percentage of people that only eat meat is always going to be a very minimal amount. One ingredient food is key. Yeah. I think we definitely need to up the amount of meat we eat as a society, but thinking that we're going to go from eating the lowest amount of meat in probably human history to everybody being carnivore is like, that's like everybody winning the lottery. It's not going to do us. I mean, we're just not going to get there. It's a nice thing to think about, but I just don't think there's going to be a thing that happens. And Aaron said that's next month, Tanya. And Charlie says, yeah, I doubt there's a high risk of going off the rails with Alka Seltzer. And I think, like, you have to wonder, like, realistically, like, if you are conscious of what you buy and keep in your house, the chances of going off the rails with anything in your house are probably slim, even if it's medicine or whatever it is. Like, having a diet soda out at a restaurant or whatever. I mean, some people just can't handle it. You can't handle it, you can't handle it. But, Jeremiah says, when I've done keto, it was consistent. But then I would have a setback meal or day turn into a week. What helped me was carb cycling, using 1 day a week for cravings. I think that like just depends legitimately. Like if you're in your first week of keto and you're already carb cycling and you're like, well, I'm going to have one a week. I think there's got to be that you've got to try to push through, because I see the longer I've done this, the better able I am to handle it. But in the very beginning, I didn't eat. I was very strict and very on it, and I was dedicated to it. And I mean, now I find that I when I do like a cheat meal, it doesn't bother me as much, but then it does kind of make me more apt to be like, well, yeah, like next Tuesday, we're going to the fair. So I'm going to obviously have some corn dogs. You know what I mean? It's just, that's true. We're doing that. But, you know, I just think, like, I mean, when it really comes down to it, I think you have to do what you have to do to stay on track. But I kind of wonder, at what point are we trying to do what we got to do to stay on track? Is it actually defeating the purpose? And and I'm not calling you out, Jeremiah, or anything like that. I'm just kind of using it as an example. But because I know for me, like if I we did a I we right the last few months we've had like a cheat meal once a week, and it's devastating for me. And I mean, it's just not a good thing for us. So you just have to figure out what truly works and be honest with yourself on whether it's working or not, and not be okay just because it's convenient, and convince yourself that it's working because it is convenient and you enjoy the cheat meal. But cheat meals to me, I just feel so bad. Like I can't. Terry Sue says meat eaters are getting like vegans, always worrying about what meat they will eat next, or if they're willing, or if they're getting enough fat. It used to be simple. How's it getting complicated? Well, I think what happens, and as I sit here pontificating about this, it comes down to people sitting around pontificating about things, and people trying to out carnivore each other. If you are in a situation where you're just trying to ensure everyone's doing well, I think it's easier. But I think a lot of times it comes down to, well, I was carnivore, but I wasn't strict enough, so I had to go lion diet because that's carnivore turbo or whatever. And I think we that happens. And I think the idea of like lion diet was a legitimate thing that people would do to remove as much variability out of their diet as possible, to try to get to the root cause of autoimmune issues and try to heal things and heal themselves. Now it comes, I think the same thing with like carnivore. Because I mean, do I think that strict carnivore, for as many people who are strict carnivore, is the best for them to eat? Probably not. I mean, do I think vegetables on the whole are dangerous? Not really. Do I think we should be eating bowls and bowls and bowls of broccoli every day? No. But like if you have some broccoli once a week, that's not the end of the world. And I don't know about I mean, I don't know enough about oxalates and all that stuff, but like I think what it comes down to, like if there's oxalates in like almond flour and all these things, but you're making loaves of bread every day out of almond flour, and almond flour pancakes and almond flour cookies, and then you like putting almond flour in your shakes, and you're doing whatever, like, or you're having peanut butter flour and shakes, and like you're just basically filling your body full of it, instead of like if you had like a handful of peanuts once a week, or you had a peanut for some peanuts for a snack, or some almonds for a snack, or whatever. You're drinking almond milk, and then you're having all these almond flour treats and breads and cookies and cakes. Sure, that's like if you drink a case of Diet Coke every day. It's If you have a Diet Coke every once in a while, even like a can of Diet Coke a day, it's probably not going to do much to you. But if you're drinking a case a day, that changes the story. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Charlie says Kent Carnivore had a great video recently on how lines between herbivore, omnivore, and carnivore are sometimes blurry in nature rather than rigid. Yeah, I mean, for them, it's completely survival driven. Like if they're like, what's a wolf gonna do if a wolf doesn't find an elk to take down? What's the wolf gonna eat? And Thomas says here, dogs don't eat grass; they throw up. They dogs don't eat grass to throw up and not keep down. Maybe they are telling us something. Just saying. Well, I mean, think about cows eat grass. Cows only really should be eating grass, but cows probably also get bugs and they get mice probably, and they get who knows whatever when they're just chomping and chewing and chomping and chewing. I don't know. I just don't think I don't think nature is as rigid as we like to think it is, because dogs are also scavengers. So dogs will eat whatever they can find. Now, does that mean a proper dog diet should have, should be meat with rice and sweet potatoes and carrots and all that stuff? Probably not. Should it be more meat based? Probably. But I mean, in real life, dogs eat whatever dogs find. And Amy says, I'm curious to see how long this cold lasts on carnivore. Usually get sick for 2 weeks. That's a long time. And Terry says, cats eat grass too in order to barf out fur balls. Ugh. Let's see. Thomas says, I'm on my 4th day of priming. I may end it at today at, let's see, today at 5 or 6 meals and go to 3 meals. Then on Sunday, start my ADF. Okay, that's interesting. I'm curious to see how that's going to go for you. Amy goes, that's a good point. It's almost like our immune system goes dormant. I don't think it goes dormant, really. I think it just kind of like if you've gone a long time without being sick and your immune system's doing everything it does, because we're always coming in contact with things. I think we get used to the things we come in contact with often. So, like, you live in a house with like 5 people or whatever, you got kids, and there's always little things kind of coming around. Your body can kind of shake those things off, and maybe you don't even notice it. But then every once in a while, something's going to come along and just knock you out. Rick, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. And Naomi says, summer colds really suck. Having stuffy nose and the outside heat is not fun. At least in the winter, there is a fresh, cold air to try to breathe. Yeah. Amy says, I've been buying the regular frozen burgers at Costco instead of the grass fed. I bought the grass fed because they were on sale, and I didn't realize that all of their frozen beef were on sale. I could have got an extra pound, I think, for the same price if I got the regular stuff. I don't know. I need to try and see because I think the sirloin ones taste really good. I need to do a check and kind of get a bag of each of the Costco frozen burgers and see which ones I like the best. I don't mind the grass fed, grass finished ones, but I think I would rather have the grain fed ones, the grain finished ones. Thomas says, though the advice of some carnivores to me, I have started to take Mongerno instead of Victrosa. My sugars were spiked for the first few hours, but it's going down now. Okay. So you've switched GLP-1s. Okay. Curious to see how that's going to impact you. And Amy's asking, how's the priming going with that, Thomas? Is it hard to eat all the food with your stomach being slowed down? That's interesting too. Yeah, and Terry says there's no way I could see eating all that stuff in a day that Thomas is eating. Yeah, and I'm not sure who came up with the priming thing. I'm not sure exactly what the mechanism behind it is. I have not really looked into it or even really. I think the first time I actually heard about it was when Thomas was talking about it. So I'm not familiar with it myself. Let's see. So far, so good, Amy, but only started the Mongiorno today, so I think it will be hard to eat so many meals. However, the ADF should be okay. Terry said that Mongiorno. Yeah, I saw that episode. Amy says, I'm the opposite. If I eat anything sad, sheet, especially with gluten, I get really sick. Have joint pain. I can't walk for weeks. I'm not okay. And I think that's going to be, separate for a lot of people. If you have found health with this way of eating and you've cut down on inflammation, I cut down a lot of inflammation. Like my knees don't bother me like they used to. Um, but like I find like I have joint pain returns if I eat the wrong kind of cheat meal. But like if we go get sushi, or if we have like Thai food, both of those are very rice heavy. Rice doesn't impact me the same way that like wheat and gluten does. But I never really had a gluten allergy necessarily. But it would, you do get the sore joints. But I wouldn't say like not celiac levels or anything like that. Terry said carnivore turbo, another good handle. Yeah. Excuse me. Let's see. Amy said, Terry said, I'm not making it complicated. Everyone is asking me if I'm getting enough fat. I'm like, I eat meat with butter on it, dude. I'm not tracking macros. That's the advertisement of carnivore. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you don't have to think about it. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I think like just like trying to intuitively eat is just so difficult. I think it's just really because of the food noise. Even if you've lowered your food noise, it still never fully goes away. And then it's perpetuated by food advertising that you can't make go away. Like I can click X on every food advertisement I see on social media, it still doesn't go away. Rick is in the house. Good evening. That's what I'm saying. I'm used to being here at night. Good morning, Rick. Greetings, all, he says. Everyone's saying hello to Twinbrook Acres. Jackie says cows, except for that YouTuber's cows that eats everything he cooks. I'm wondering how long that cow is going to live. I mean, cows will eat whatever you feed them. To be honest with you, there's a lot of like the feedlots and stuff, and they feed them Skittles and Snickers, and especially like if you have like a dairy farm or you have a bunch of cattle down the street from like a food manufacturer, they will sell bulk mistake for cheap because they can't sell it, and then either they're going to go in the trash or they can sell it to feedlots. So I mean, there's cows that have been like whether it's dairy cows or beef cows, they're being fed who knows what kind of candy, who knows. And if you've watched any Dr. Pol, you'll see like especially grain-fed cows, sometimes they'll get that like those bubble guts and they got to go in and puncture them and let the gas out. It's insane. Terry says, I think sleep and plenty of water helps heal the cold the fastest. If you don't get to sleep, it makes it tougher. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes just sleep is just the best when you don't feel good. I mean, it's always the best. Sleep is always great. I love sleep. Charlie says, I love the Costco 75% lean third pound frozen burger patties. Cook them all at once on the Blackstone in about 20 minutes. So you cook like 6 pounds of burger all at one time. You just like put them in a Ziploc and eat them all week or something like that. I mean, they don't take that long to cook. So, I mean, like for me, I just cook 3 at a time. I eat 3 at a time. Just throw them into the cast iron and they take about 5 minutes really to cook. Target Prime Room says Coach Raymond. Brian's done with the walking now. Sauna. Oh, that sounds nice. And Brian is saying 6 weeks on Mongerno for me doing well. Good luck. I just hope that I hope all of you taking these don't see the complications that are possible. Because like sometimes the complications are pretty bad. And that's what I hope, that everyone stays safe. You know. Thomas says, I am now at 91 blood sugar. That's good. I mean, that was all. I mean, you're less than 100, so I think that's good. I know there's people going to be like you're at 70 or 80 or whatever, but getting yourself down to to where you need to be. And Terry says, "Yeah, I'm the same. If I eat something off my normal beaten path, the joint pain is pretty instant and makes you know you're screwed up. Well, mine usually like the next day. It's usually not instant for me. Andy Carnivore's 2 years carnivore. Fantastic. Thank you for that, for sharing that with us. Yeah, and I mean, it's not. I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't people who are going to be consistent and thrive being carnivore for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. It's not. It's not that it's not possible. It's, to me, in my opinion, and I don't. I mean, who am I? I'm just a dumb dumb on the internet. But I mean, understanding that it's not going to be the norm, at least not for a long time. Charlie says, for me, I feel awesome all the time when I'm on point with carnivore. A cheat meal would need to be a high end bucket list item for me to want to trade that healthy feeling away momentarily. Yeah. And I get that. I mean, and that's great. I mean, there's going to be people who feel that way. Um, and I know that you guys are in our community, so you're not as rare in our community. So having somebody who's 2, 3, 4, 5 plus years strict carnivore in our community is not out of the ordinary. But we are also in a kind of in a vacuum. We're kind of in an echo chamber here. It's like preaching to the choir type thing here. You are here. You are part of the community. So the fact that there are strict carnivores in our community isn't unheard of. It isn't hard to imagine. But when we start breaking away from this community and looking at the population as a whole, that's where I don't see long term carnivore people being the majority or even close to it. And it's not that I don't think it's healthy. I just don't think that society is going to be set up for that. It's not going to be conducive to that. It's not going to be something that people can do widespread unless society drastically changes. That's where I feel like even the idea of like single ingredient whole food diet is a far stretch. Trying to get a majority, trying to get a bulk of the people in the United States to go single ingredient whole food, that's still almost a pipe dream. Getting people away from sad, oh my goodness. It's just, I mean, we want to, and that's what we're working towards, one person at a time. That's a lot of people. A lot of people who don't a lot of think of all the people out there who just don't want to change no matter how they feel. They feel terrible and they still don't want to change. They're still not ready to make a difference in themselves. That's I mean, and it's like easy to say, we can easily look at our community and definitely pick out people in the community that have been carnivore for umpteen years like Rick, you know. And he does what he does and he loves it. But that doesn't mean that Rick is someone that can be duplicated in mass. Oh, let's see. Risa says rice doesn't seem to do anything to me. Eat it occasionally. Eat it like we eat a couple of times weekly. Let's see, 1.5 ounce cooked pasta with my palami pasta bulks it up. Okay. Let's see. Risa also says that she takes a digestive enzyme when I eat that little bit of pasta, so I don't get as bad at gas. Okay, interesting. Thomas says that my 5 to 6 meals is ending today, then only 3 meals. Then Sunday will start my alternate day fasting, probably at least until my next A1C blood test, which will be in October. Okay. Yeah. So I just wasn't sure what priming was. So priming, just eating lots and lots of meals, getting yourself ready to go into an alternate day fasting. Okay. And Thomas says it does work. I feel nourished. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're eating lots and lots, then it's going to be one of those things that you're going to feel you're going to feel full and good. And Reese says, if you feel good the way you're eating, that is wonderful. If it helps your numbers, that is wonderful. Just keep it up. Yeah, 100%. And Aaron says, I love staying carnivore. I feel so good. It's like I can't cheat. When I did try something different, I ended up having really bad anxiety. I hate anxiety and I love carnivore. Yeah, 100%. And Aaron says, I've been doing carnivore for so long. I'm scared of trying something different and I don't want to. Yeah. And Terry's saying that Aaron needs a cattle ranch. Yeah. We could all deal with that. But I don't want to deal with that. I want someone else to raise the cow for me, I guess. Holly Springer's in the house. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Holly. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. Charlie. I always thought that priming was like practice for Amazon Prime deal hunting. The sad thing about that is like there's websites to show you that Prime deals aren't that good of a deal. It'll tell you like if usually if you can buy something like 2 weeks before Prime, you might get a better deal on it. Now, a few things here and there you'll probably get a good deal on, but Aaron absolutely loves cows. Moo cows. We pass moo cows on the way home, either picking the girl up from school or dropping her off from school because we go one way to get there and then we go one way on the way back. Because getting there and coming back, the traffic patterns are different. So, like on the way to her school, the traffic isn't bad, but if we came back the same way, the traffic would be bad because of the way traffic patterns are. So then and if we go the way we come home to take her to school, it would take forever. But coming home, it's a lot simpler. So yeah. Reese says, I admit I've had some bad days at work lately. I made myself feel better with carbs. Am I proud of myself? No, but I needed it and it made me feel better mentally, not physically. And I think there's a trade off with that. I think as somebody who self soothes with food, even now, it's difficult to get away from because that is so innately built into us that when something bad happens to us and we have a bad day, we're stressed out, food is there to comfort us. And it's difficult to walk away from that comfort. It truly, truly is difficult. And even to this day, like I've been struggling with food addiction my whole life, basically. And I've only since doing keto for a long time. We're coming like 9 years keto. It'll be 10 years next year. But understanding satiety, understanding how my body feels at its best, understanding cravings. I still get cravings at night. Still dig through our pantry looking for stuff that isn't there. And I mean, it's not proud. I'm not proud of that, but it's something that I have to deal with and something that I'm always constantly working on. Aaron says, I have enough little piggies. This little piggy went to the market. This little piggy went to Aaron's. Lisa says, I feel you, Aaron. I have tried so many things this way. For me, I do have some seasoning and coffee, just have food freedom, and being pain free is worth it. Just not waiting on my brain to heal. Yeah. Terry Sue, the comfort food from childhood, whether it was chicken soup or ice cream, stick with us forever. Yeah, comfort foods are like that. And there's things that I can't shake sometimes. Like our daughter was over the other night and she brought a box of cereal and it was just like cinnamon checks. And seeing her pour that, I'm like, because they're moving in, and I'm like, you got to be careful bringing that stuff in the house. And she goes, this is mine, and I'm pregnant, and blah 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 blah. Oops. Anyway, um, you didn't hear that. Anyway, not till next week. You didn't hear that. But yeah, she's like, don't eat my cereal. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, and I'm like, ooh, I love that cereal. I want it so bad. But yeah. Let's see. Sherry's here. Sherry Nevada Pup is in the house. Good morning, friends. Turning in late, catching up on the 1.75 speed. Sorry, Dustin. I know it screws up your watch hours, but I don't like being behind. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I get enough watch time. I get plenty of watch time. Oops, wrong one. I get plenty of watch time. And speaking of watch time, right now my watch time is 823.8 hours for this 28-day period. And if I go over and I bump that up to 365 days, I'm at almost 11,000 watch hours. So you never have to worry about my watch hours, at least for the foreseeable future. you don't have to worry about my watch hours. But I appreciate you thinking of me, though. I truly, truly appreciate that. Let's see. Terry's laughing at cinnamon checks. My son left a box of frosted mini wheats here this weekend. It's on the fridge, glaring at me. That's the things like cereal. Cereal is some of the most nutrient devoid food on the planet, but it's so delicious. Oh my goodness. It's just, and you can't get full from it either. Like the kids brought, the kids, the one of our boys brought in Kix. Remember Kix, Kix? And I had 2 bowls of it. I was like, I hadn't had Kix in like 20 years. And I had 2 bowls of Kix, right? Aaron says, I'm making more coffee wrapped in a blanket. I'm cold. It's chilly in here. And she goes, I'm not wrapping coffee in a blanket. I'm wrapped in a blanket. Well, Aaron, Aaron in a blanket. And Amy says, do not take a pregnant woman's food, any woman's food for that matter. I know better than that. And Amy goes, wow, Dustin. And Thomas is asking about my beard. How many days? I don't know about days, but I started growing my beard. Like I started thinking about it and kind of growing it in 2009. About 2010, I had, and it hasn't really grown. It just kind of been here since 2010. So it just kind of stays about this length. I don't trim it or anything like that. It just sheds. It just sheds. It's like its own. It's like I got a dog. It just sheds. Jackie's got to go get to work. Love you guys. Have a good one. Be safe. Watch hours joke. Cookie Crisp. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? I remember those. I don't think it was ever that great. Terry said the cereal doesn't really taste as good as it used to, so it's kind of easy to feed to the squirrels. I don't know. I think it's just like there's a combo with that and the milk, and I have like 3 or 4 boxes of some of like the keto approved cereal in the pantry. I've got some chocolate stuff because Costco had the double boxes for like $5 one day, and I bought like 3 double boxes, and they're still in there. Problem with that, it just makes me so gassy, like I'm just tooting up a storm, like never-ending toots. This coffee's been so hot to drink today. Maybe I didn't add enough cream to it. I have done that. So there was a time when Costco sold high key cookies, the little bitty ones, and they sold like a $10 bag, and I would pour those in a bowl and pour milk over those. Those were delicious. But talk about too much almond flour. That's the way that was. Jackie said they ruined cereal when they got rid of trans fats. Charlie says, I will say my daughter has not had any cereal on my watch in the past 2 years. She still eats a lot of junk, but one less of the broad category, at least. We don't buy our granddaughter cereal. She had a little bit of cereal. She had some of mommy's cereal the other day, but she'll ask for cereal, but we don't buy it for her. She's like, I want Lucky Charms. We're like, no, absolutely not. She eats fruit, granola bars, things that aren't great. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like you have to have like, you have to give in some because I know the people who disagree with me on that. But getting her to eat is a pain no matter what you're feeding her. But she eats eggs and chicken nuggets and stuff like that. So we do the best we can. And Risa says that tooting is the problem with Magic Spoon. That's what I think I have in there. I think it's Magic Spoon. I forget the name of those. Like, I'm pretty sure it's Magic Spoon. But no issues with seven. I haven't tried Seven Sundays. I didn't think it was low enough carb. I've tried several flavors with no issues. Interesting. But the cereal, the Magic Spoon is the closest to cereal that I've had. because I've had like the Wonderworks that Walmart used to carry. I did like the Wonderworks. They had a Wonderworks Honey Nut Cheerio type, and I liked that one. That one was okay. Oh, let's see. How did they think it was someone dunking Chips Ahoy in milk and thought, well, there's an idea. Yeah, cookies and milk is the best. I'm not even going to lie. Holly says, instead of thinking about it as cheating, I choose to treat myself. I'm carnivore most days, but a couple of times a week, I have something like marinara sauce that's clean. Yeah, I think you're just going to have to get to know yourself, understand who you are, understand what your true triggers are. Like to me, like Oreos don't bother me. Like I don't crave Oreo cookies. I don't crave candy. Sometimes like just eating a big pile of chocolate would be nice. Like just eating like a bunch of candy bars would be okay. But I mean, that's not something that I really think about. But for me, it's like Hot Pockets and macaroni and cheese and corn dogs and that type of stuff that I truly miss and want. The super hyper palatable junk food that's not sweet. Sherry said, removing trans fat made Oreos taste chemically to me. Yeah, and I mean because they used to make them out of lard, and then they changed it to like Crisco. Then they took the trans fats out of Crisco. So yeah, it's weird. And everybody knows Rick and his magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. That's right. Yeah. Thomas says, I misread Holly's thing. I thought you said marijuana sauce. I mean, you never know. I mean, you can have can of butter. You know what I mean? It's whatever. That's possible. I'm typing on a treadmill. Oh my goodness. Amy, I haven't had any coffee yet. I'm thinking of putting a little coconut oil in it this morning for flavor. Do it. My coffee is still like this full. It's just so hot. Like normally I'm just sipping it down, but it's just so hot. Oh my goodness. But I guess with that, I will go ahead and call it a day, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys being here for this Tuesday morning or Tuesday night live in the morning. I'm kind of bummed that Chandra didn't come downstairs, but she must have fell right back asleep. She'll apologize later to me and be like, I'm sorry, babe. But I know she loves you guys. I know she loves being here, but she was just tired. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you again next Tuesday. Same Tuesday time, same Tuesday channel. I'll be back Sunday. Maybe sitting in the same spot Sunday morning. We'll see how everything works out. If I get things moved where I need to be. But anyway, that she's upstairs. She's upstairs asleep. She told me to wake her up before we went live. I called her 5 minutes before I went live, and she's okay. I was like, "Don't rush." I don't want to hurt herself or nothing like that. But yeah, she slept through the live. It's fine. I kind of had an idea she might do that. Andy, welcome, Andy, dear. Yes, I am still live for the next couple of minutes here. I was saying bye to people. And she's already walked over 3.5 miles. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm about to go join her. I think I might go lay down next to her. See, maybe get a nap. Thomas is cooking some chicken quarters for my third meal today with lard. That sounds amazing. I love it. Anyway, love all of you guys. Thank you so very much for being here, Andy. Love you. Hope your mom is doing okay. Tell Susan when you talk to her that I say hello. All of you, Terry, Lisa, Thomas, Lynn, all of you wonderful people, Tanya, Aaron, all of you great, great people. Thank you, Amy, so much for being here. And with that, here are the credits.